My friends, what we're seeing on the radar right now is not a bird, it's not a commercial airplane, and it's certainly not a traditional fighter jet. It's the absolute end of the era of military invincibility as we knew it. For decades, the West sat on the throne of air supremacy, believing that its aircraft carriers and stealth fighters were the answer to everything. But the axis of evil, Iran, China, and Russia and their proxies, found a chink in the armor. They discovered that they can cripple the greatest military superpower in history using drones that cost less than an economy car. It's asymmetric warfare, the bankruptcy of the skies. But the game has just undergone a tectonic shift. The United States, through the Army, has just unveiled the Grizzly. Look at the level of disruption. At first glance, it's nothing more than an ordinary cargo container. A metal box just 3 meters long. It doesn't look revolutionary. It doesn't fire any new missile. But that's exactly where the danger lies for the axis of dictatorships. The Grizzly is a ghost crusher. It's not just a launcher. It's the invisible hand that grabs the enemy drone in the air and pulverizes it before it reaches the target. And the fact that this system exists, that it was put together in a hurry, reveals something very serious. The skies are leaking. And the Pentagon knows this very well. It's not just a new missile. It's proof that the West has woken up, understood the threat of economic collapse, and created a lethal shredder for the swarm mafia. Today we're going to dissect the anatomy of this machine, what it hunts, why the Army is desperate for it, and as elite analysts, we're going to expose exactly what's missing from it. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like the video. It takes a lot of work, my friends. To even understand the Grizzly, you need to understand how the battlefield has undergone a genetic mutation in the last decade. Go back in time with me. 20 years ago, the job of an air defense operator was straightforward. It was simple. The main threats were supersonic fighter jets, attack helicopters, and at most, ballistic and cruise missiles. Any drone that existed was slow, unarmed, and flew low. To deal with ballistic missiles, you use the powerful Patriot system from the United States or David's Sling and Iron Dome from Israel. The calculation was obvious. You built billion-dollar radars and extremely expensive interceptors because you were shooting down enemy aircraft worth tens of millions of dollars. The math of war made sense. But fast forward to 2017. In the Battle of Mosul in Iraq, that's where the world got a brutal reality check. Iraqi forces, backed by the United States, started getting massacred by something ridiculous. Commercial quadcopters, off-the-shelf drones adapted by ISIS to drop hand grenades on soldiers. That was ground zero. Drones went from being a minor annoyance to becoming the deadliest scourge on the modern battlefield in less than 10 years. Today, the reality is terrifying. A modern kamikaze drone weighing more than 250 grams and costing a few $100s can be guided with millimeter precision to destroy a command post 100 kilometers away. And even worse, a $50,000 drone can fly 2,000 kilometers to its target. Just to give you an idea, 2,000 kilometers is the exact distance between Havana in Cuba and New York City. Or bringing it to our reality. It's like launching a drone from Caracas in Venezuela and hitting the heart of Brazil. This is serious, my friends. This reality has completely changed the defense calculations in the theater of operations. And here is the blind spot that the axis of evil wants to exploit. Mathematical bankruptcy. Do you think the Patriot system solves this? Wrong. If you use a PAC-3 interceptor which costs $4 million to shoot down an Iranian Shahed drone made of plastic and fiberglass that costs only $20,000, the enemy doesn't need to destroy your base. He destroys your national treasury. It doesn't matter what you're protecting if you go bankrupt in the process. The United States manufactures only a few hundred Patriot missiles per year. Iran manufactures thousands of drones per month. The Grizzly was designed to stop this financial bleeding. Now, what is the Grizzly, technically speaking? It's a containerized missile launcher developed by Lockheed Martin. The level of urgency is so high that they put this together in just 6 months. The entire system is packed inside a 3-meter shipping container. But why? Absolute mobility. You can transport this box of death by trucks, ships, trains, planes, cargo ships, and even hang it under heavy helicopters. This allows air defense to be quickly deployed anywhere in the world. We're seeing American forces being moved like chess pieces at high speed as the proxy war with Iran heats up in the Middle East. Mobility is not a luxury, it's survival. The Army's recent demonstration took this launcher and connected it to Lockheed's operational brain. The Sanctum Battle Management System and the Fordham TrueView R40 radar together, they detected, tracked, and engaged a Group 3 drone. Pay attention to the data. Group 3 drones are medium-sized aircraft. The aircraft is the size of Iran's Shahed kamikaze drones. They fly at speeds below 463 kilometers per hour and weigh between 20 and battle management. The management of the R3 Battle R3, which is the Sanctum Management System, and the Sanctum Fordham Battle Radar System. Fire, used for testing where tactical ingenuity appears. They didn't invent anything new. They use the JAGM, Joint Air-to-Ground Missile. This is the direct air of the legendary Hellfire missile. Historically, the Hellfire and the JAGM were designed to be fired from the air by Apache helicopters or Reaper drones against tanks and ground bases. Grizzly took this logic, reversed the polarity, and turned an air-to-ground weapon into a ground-to-air killer. The United States Navy had already been improvising Hellfire missiles from ships against Houthi drones in the Red Sea. Yeah, so the concept was already approved. The truth at the ICRU is this. The missile is just a cylinder with explosives and fuel. What matters is what guides it. Whether it's guided by satellite coordinates, a laser designator, an infrared sensor, or terminal guidance by artificial intelligence. The problem against small and highly maneuverable drones is the kill chain. Find the target, identify, track, decide to engage, hit, and designate the missile. Making JAGM shoot down a drone in the end is purely a matter of software. It's computer code shaping the physics of interception. And the cost? Well, the JAGM missile costs about $325,000. Does that solve the math problem? It doesn't turn the game perfectly in our favor. But spending $325,000 is infinitely better than burning $4 million on a Patriot. Besides that, Lockheed Loggerhead claims that the Grizzly is missile agnostic. It can fire even cheaper weapons in the future. What matters there is the detection and fire control architecture. Not to mention the parallel development of laser weapons, which can intercept a $50,000 drone for the cost of a cup of coffee. Then the game will definitely change. Now, if you stop the analysis here, you'll think that the generals in Washington have solved all the problems. But armchair analysts on the internet started shouting, why use a $325,000 missile if the Army already has APKWS-2 rockets? No one is talking about this professionally, so let's face reality. The APKWS-2 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System 2 is basically an old 70mm Hydra rocket fitted with a laser seeker. Is it cheap? Very. It costs about $35,000 per shot. That's when, my friends, the numbers start to add up. The Vampir system in Ukraine uses this. But here's the Achilles heel. It's laser guided. This requires a direct line of sight. If you can't see the drone, you can't paint it with the laser. If a sandstorm forms in the Middle East, if the dust rises, if the cloud cover gets really heavy, the damn laser is interrupted and the blind rocket falls to the ground. Besides, the range is lousy. From the air, it reaches about 4.8 kilometers. From the ground, the range drops even more. The JAGM fired by the Grizzly reaches about 8 kilometers. The $35,000 rocket lets you down in a storm. The Grizzly's Fordham radar sees through severe weather. You pay for the certainty of death, not for a cheap possibility. That brings us to the gap in our defenses, the acronym SHORAD. Short Range Air Defense. We had the famous CRAM. Since 2004, the Phalanx has been on Navy ships. But the CRAM fires in a narrow line of sight. It has limited range. If drones fly low like the Shahed, the CRAM can't engage in time. In a massive swarm, just a few CRAM systems run out of ammunition in seconds and are easily wiped out. And then we lose short capability when we deactivate old systems like the Avenger or rely too much on the shoulder-fired Stinger. Because we simply thought that no one in the world would dare to challenge Western air superiority. It's vital to understand that the battlefield has changed its very nature. ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance have become cheap, ubiquitous, and commonplace. The axis of evil is watching you. If you place a static defense vehicle in the Kuwaiti desert, it will be detected, mapped, and destroyed. That's why it's extremely necessary for the Grizzly to be a mobile container. You put it on a truck, take it off, pack it up, and it disappears. Vehicles dedicated to anti-aircraft defense are worse logistically because if the weapon breaks down, you lose the entire vehicle. With a 3-meter modular system, logistics can breathe. But the unbreakable rule of war is this: no weapon ever solves all problems by itself. Learn this. The secret to Western survival is called layered defense. If you think the Grizzly alone will win the war in Taiwan or unlock the Strait of Hormuz, you're naive, my friend. Imagine the American fortress of the future. The Vampire system firing cheap APKWS-2 rockets at nearby and invisible targets. The Grizzly using $325,000 JAGMs against heavy drones hiding in the storm. EW electronic warfare systems and jammers frying the enemy's signals. Androil Unreal's Rude Runner M interceptors. $500 each, which take off vertically. And if they don't find the target, return to base to be reused. Add high-energy lasers like the Holocaust and Helios, where the cost per shot is measured in cents. We can't forget about Iron Band Israel either. Formidable. Remote weapon stations firing medium machine guns connected to radars. And physical mesh interceptor drones developed in Ukraine. This is the network. This is layered defense. And here's the red pill. The reality shock of the Advantage Crusher. Ghosts. The Grizzly has flaws. We need to expose them so that no one is deceived. The magazine depth is only 8 missiles per container. Against a swarm of 30 drones at the same time, it empties the tubes in seconds and becomes useless until it is reloaded. Second, the Ford and TrueView ASA radar. The Grizzly's R40 is an engineering miracle. It does frequency hopping and beam shaping, making tracking difficult. But it emits electromagnetic noise. In the physics of modern warfare, if you emit, you die. The enemy can use passive detectors to triangulate the Grizzly's radar electronic noise and send an anti-radiation missile straight to the operator's forehead. Not that the terrorists have this technology right now, at this very moment, but China will make sure to provide all of it. It's a deadly game of cat and mouse. But geopolitics doesn't wait for the perfect weapon. The axis of evil is betting on exhaustion. The Grizzly is the brutal answer that the West can fight a war of attrition by absorbing existing technology. Yes, my friends, the gap is closing. But danger never sleeps. The war has changed for good. A superpower now needs metal boxes and repurposed missiles to fight against plastic and carbon fiber planes. War is no longer about who has the biggest bomb, but about who has the ability to adapt in real time. The axis of evil tried to bankrupt us in $20,000 swarms. We responded by creating modular ghost shredders. The West will never be caught off guard again like it was in Mosul. Now, leave a comment and write layer defense or swarm pencil. I want to see who really understood the new physics of the war we're facing. The next 6 months will tell if the Grizzly system will be the ultimate predator or just prey on the real battlefield in the Middle East or the South China Sea. Now pay attention to one thing. I know that you who are following me, have a message of great value, deep knowledge, but it still goes unnoticed here in the digital world. You try, you record, you take chances, but the audience just doesn't come. And do you know what the problem is? It's the absurd amount of money you're leaving on the table every day. The internet rewards those who know how to hold attention. And the real game doesn't pay in reais, it pays in dollars. The method that brought me over 50 million views every month is fully monetized in a strong currency, which is worth 5 times more. Think about it. The same effort you put in today could be earning you 10, 50, 100 times more. 100 rees become 500, 1,000 becomes 5,000. But for that, you need to master the exact structure of communication that captures the audience. And that's why on July 12th in Curitiba, I'm going to open the black box of this system. An in-person immersion locked inside a professional studio with my team for only 10 people. It's not a stage lecture, it's pure practice. We will build your authority and your maximum retention script together, face to face. So you can stop talking to the walls and start making money in the international market. And we're not talking about something out of this world, no. You don't even need to know how to speak English. It's great if you do. If you don't, it's good to learn someday. But you don't need it to do exactly what we're doing here. If you want to stop leaving money on the table and start multiplying your results in dollars, the time is now. The QR code is on the screen and the link is in the video description and in the first pinned comment. Now just type "I want" and we'll send you the link. There are only 10 spots, and when the last seat is taken, that's it. Your voice deserves to be heard and your effort deserves to be well paid. Type "I want." Blend your communication. And for you to stop wasting time looking for a good movie or a good series to watch with your family, to have moments of relaxation and tranquility, look, we created a channel with tips on series and movies so you don't have to spend an hour on Netflix trying to find something good. This month we're recommending a really cool movie called Mosu. Yes, it's on our channel. Go check it out because it talks exactly about what we're discussing in this video. So subscribe. The link is in the description, in the pinned comment, and also in the card that appears on your video. No whining, no culture wars. If there is, we'll let you know, like, don't watch it because of this. Or watch it, but know that this, and this will show up. It's really cool. Now subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and leave your like on the video because it takes a lot of work to do this, my friends. Blend your mind. I'm Simone Oliveira, and I'll see you in the next video. See you then.